Hey everyone, welcome to Java Revisited. My name is Nitish and you guys are watching another video of this channel. And for today's video, we'll have a look at some of the pattern problems mainly discussed in the solution for Java, correct? So all those patterns you have seen like star, 111, 222 and different conceptual questions related to patterns like that will be discussed in this video. I'll mainly focus on solving two questions, okay, for this video, and I'll give you an homework question also in which you have to comment down in the comment section. Just give about a rough idea about how this pattern will work. Before starting this video, I can bet you if you watch this video till the very end, you will eventually know what is the function of the nested for loops, okay? So if you are aware of what patterns are, what pattern questions are, then you might have seen that we use some of these nested for loops. What do I mean by nested for loops? Nested for loop means for loop inside and for loop, correct? So in case you have seen some of the solution, then it is like for int I is equal to 0, and in that for loop there is another for loop, and many of the students get confused like what is this outer for loop doing and what is this inner for loop doing, correct? So everything will be discussed in this video. Make sure you watch the video till the very end, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's get started. All right, so as you can see, the first question for your pattern is print this pattern for n equal to 4. Now the main question here is, tell me, first thing to notice is that what is I'm trying to say, listen very carefully. Tell me how many number of rows are there. You will say first row, second row, third row, and fourth row, correct? This is the third row and this is my fourth row. I said fourth rows, correct? You have to print this pattern for n equal to 4, correct? Now how can I print this pattern? Question comes here. See, for n equal to 4, it basically means if I input my value of n as 4, this should be the pattern which should be printed, correct? So firstly I need to input n. So what I can say is here I can say scanner input equal to new scanner and system dot in. Cool. Then I'm saying int n equal to input dot next int. What is n? N is basically the number you will input, simple, because for n equal to 4 this is the pattern which I'm going to print. But here I am taking n by user. I can here write as well. I can write here n equal to 4, but what I am trying to teach here is that I am taking this pattern, I am solving this question for any value of n. For any value of n. Well, for any value of n, but in order to make this question more simple, let's take as the value of n as 4 initially. Okay? For n equal to 4, we're going to print this pattern. Now the question comes like how I am going to print this pattern, correct? So let's get into this. So this is my pattern, something like this. See, my writing is like very bad here. I don't know. Okay, this is my pattern, like a rough estimate, correct? This is my pattern for n equal to 4. Just wait. And this is my last row, correct? You understood up to here that I have input n as 4, correct? Now what I'm going to do here is, tell me, first of all, if I ask you which is the row, this is the first row, this is the second row, this is the third row, okay, and this is my last one is fourth row, correct? Tell me how many columns are there. You will say, Nitish, this is first column, this is second column, this is third column, and this is fourth column, correct? Now what I'm going to do here is, listen very carefully, I'm going to start a for loop, outer for loop. And please understand this when I'm saying this. Please understand this. Now it's very important when I'm telling you. Your outer for loop will always start from 1 maximum times. In maximum questions, it will start from 1 and will go till n. Okay? It will start from 1 and will go till n for maximum of the questions. And so this question is not an exception. What this outer for loop is doing, I'm basically starting a loop for I from 1 up to n. What is the value of n here? The n is 4. And what is my I? I basically here, one second, I basically here represent number of rows. Okay, so how many number of rows are there? You will say the number of rows are 4. I said correct. So I will start my rows loop, which is called as I, from 1 to 4. Correct? And inside that for loop, I'll start a column loop. Nitish, what is that column loop? I'll say for j is equal to 1, from j is equal to 1, starting from j is equal to 1 and going up to which? How many columns are there? You will say 4 columns. So I'll start this loop from 1 up to 4. Correct? And in this for loop, in this column loop, I'll print my star. Simple thing. I'll print this star. Correct? Now what happens is this, like, you might get confused a little bit, like what this loop is doing, right? And what this outer loop is doing. I'll tell you everything. This loop is basically your rows. This loop is basically telling you number of rows, and this inner loop is telling you number of columns. The main thing is very important. Now I'm telling you, your I will operate like this. Your I will increment like this. See, first row, second row, third row, fourth row, and your j, which is column, it will increment like this. Understand this? Your I will go like this and your j will go like this. Understood? Let's try to code this on IntelliJ. Correct? Like, how can I do this? So what I do, int n equal to 4. Correct? Well, if I define n equal to 4, then why I need this? I don't think so. Cool. So int n equal to 4, then I am saying I'm starting a for loop. Okay, wait, yeah, okay, yeah, for int I is equal to 0, starting from first row, okay, starting from first row and going till fourth row. Correct? And going till fourth row, and I'm saying I plus plus. Correct? Let's see what is the error it is throwing here. Just wait for a little minute. Okay, wait. I got this. Sorry. Simple. So the main thing was that I have to paste it here. Okay, I was pasting it in the wrong way. Sorry. Int n equal to 4. Then what I'm going to do? I'm going to start a for loop. Int I is equal to 1. What is I? I is basically representing my number of rows. So this is the number of rows loop, which is going till from I equal to 1 and going till up to 4, because how many rows are there? 4 rows. So this will basically go till from 1 to 4. As mentioned earlier, your outer for loop for the maximum cases goes from 1 to n. Correct? What is the value of n here? The value of n is 4. Now inside for loop, this loop will basically represent my columns. Now listen very carefully. I'm starting the column for the first, starting from the first column and going till how many columns? How many columns are there? 4 columns. Simple. And in this column loop, I'm going to print my star with a space. What is the space? Why the space needed at the very first place? See, this is the space. This line, this is the space. So that's what I have written. Now listen very carefully what I'm trying to say. See, int I is equal to 1, row number 1. This is the first row. For row equal to 1, now the value of I is 1. J will have the value 1. Okay, J the value of 1. So it means now this basically when I is equal to 1, this will be there. This will be highlighted. And when J is equal to 1, basically we are talking about this element, and here one star will be printed. Correct? Then the value of I will be incremented. The value of J will be incremented. The value of J will be now 2, but the value of I will be 1. Correct? The value of J will be 2. Now where will the star be printed? As mentioned earlier, the value of J goes like this. So now my value of J is 2. The value of J is 2, then the next star will be printed here. Similarly for j equal to 3, next star will be printed here, the next star will be printed here, correct? But the main thing here is that you might say, Nitish, this is the correct code. Then for I equal to, then this loop, once it has run for j equal to 4, it will start running for j equal to 5. Eventually the condition will not be satisfied. Then what will happen? Simple thing will happen, the value of I will become 2. As mentioned earlier, the value of I will become 2, I will increment like this, correct? I will increment like this. But here is the condition. Let me tell you what is the condition now. When I is equal to 2, j will have the value 1. J will have the value 1 for I equal to 2, simple. So you will say second row and first column. So basically here will be printed, star will be printed, and similarly for j equal to 3, here will be printed, here will be printed, here will be printed. Correct? You might say me this. But let's try to run this like how it's running. Let's see. I have committed some of the mistakes. In case you guys have noticed that, that's very good, but in case you guys have not, just be here and I'll tell you what. See, for n equal to 4, see, this is not the pattern I was expecting. See, it has basically printed the pattern like this. What has happened? What has happened? Is this code wrong? No, it is not. See, when I write println, println basically what it's do, okay, println adds new line. Println adds new line. So suppose you are said like, I have this is my star, okay, one star is printed. When I print another star with the help of println, another star is printed down it, another star is printed down it, another star is printed down it, similarly. So, but I don't want my stars to be printed like this, first star, second star, third star, fourth star. I want my first star to be printed like this, second star to be printed next to the first star, and similarly the stars will be printed like this, first star, second star, third star, fourth star, correct? So for that, for printing stars in this, I'll tell you, print helps in printing stars in the same line, whereas println adds new line. So for example, it printed the first star, then it will print another star below it. But what print do? Print basically helps in printing the stars in the same line. First star printed, second star, third star, fourth star, correct? Let's try to run this again now, if it's working now, fine. See, we have now the stars in the horizontal position, but this is not the pattern which we were expecting. So what is the mistake now? The simple thing we have missed is now, which is that, see, when the first 4 stars have been printed, the value of I will be now 2. Then another 4 stars will be, of course, will be printed here. It will be printed like this here. It will be printed like this. Then what I can do to add a new space so that next new lines can be, next new stars can be printed in the next line. Similarly, simple, for that I can just do, whenever I am going to the next row, I will add a new line. That's it. What println do? Adds new line. So now what will happen? See, first 4 stars have been printed. Now when it will run for I equal to 2, before running for I equal to 2, this line will be executed. When this line will be executed, it means that adds new line. So your 4 stars have been printed, it will come to the next line. Now here the 4 stars will be printed. Then again for I equal to 3, it will come to the next line, again 4 stars will be printed. So this is how pattern goes like this. Now let's try to run this for n equal to 4. See, your pattern has been printed for n equal to 4, which was required. Now what if I want to print this pattern for any value of n? Similarly, say I want this pattern to be print for n equal to 3. Okay, say like for any value of n, say for any value of n. So what I can do, I can just, in the place of 4 I can write n, in the place of 4 I can write n. And now if I try to run this, let's see. Now let's see what will happen. Basically what will happen is it will print this, because I have set initially value of int n as 4. So I'll just int n, then okay, let's input the value of n for any value of n. I'm saying you have understood for n equal to 4. I am now doing the same for any value of n, correct? Let's see now. Enter the value of n, which suppose I want to print this pattern for n equal to 3. For n equal to 3, this pattern 3 rows 3 columns, correct? So this is your first question for the patterns. Let's move to the second one, which is called as this. You have to print this pattern for n equal to 3, 1 1 1 2 2 2 3 3 3. I don't know how to print this pattern, but I know one thing, that is I need to take the value of n. I need to take the value of n at the very first plate, correct? What I'm going to say, int n equal to input. Okay, let's call this for int n equal to 3, simple. For n equal to 3, let's print simple. I'm starting a for loop. As I mentioned, I'll start this for loop from int I is equal to n and will go till how many rows are there? You will say first row, second row, third row. So it will go three rows. Okay, first row, second row, third row. Similarly, I'm starting another loop which is called as j. This outer loop basically tells you about the rows. So now for int I is equal to 1, we are at the first row now. Okay, we are at the first row, and I'm starting my columns loop from j equal to 1, and j is less than equal to how many columns are there? 3 columns. And in this I need to print something, not println, I need to print something. And after printing, for next time when I print something, what I need to do basically, I need to add a new line. Okay, suppose the first row has printed, then to print the elements in another row, we need to add a line, and that's what println will do, correct? I have written exactly like this. This is the code. Now the question is, what should be printed? What should be there in this place? See, you understood up to here? When I is equal to 1, basically we are talking about row number 1. Now j will be 1. So it means first row, first column. First row, first column. Which element I am talking about? This. So something will be printed here. But the question is, what can be printed here? Forgot outer loop for some time, okay, and concentrate on this loop. Tell me what this loop will do. It will basically print 3 times something. It will print something 3 times. Now the question is, what should be printed here? What should be printed here? I'm giving you a hint. 1th row contains 1 1 1. 2th row contains 2 2 2. 3th row contains 3 3 3. Tell me what should be printed. Basically your row number should be printed. That's it. It's very simple. Let's try to run this. And my first row, see, 1 1 1, it's basically the row number that's printing. This is my first row. See, 1 1 1 2 2 2 3 3 3. In my second row, again row number is printed. In my third row, third number, which is row number, is printed. Now you might say, Nitish, there's a space as well. So I can just simply add the space here. How can I add? Just plus and space. That's it. It's done. See, this is your answer. Now what if I want to do the same for any value of n? So I can say here int n equal to input dot next int. So here for 3 I'll write here n, and for j is less than equal to 3 I'll say for running for any value of n. Now let's try to run this. I will have to first input the value of n. Suppose I input the value of n as 4, for example. Let's see, 4. See, 1 1 1 2 2 2 3 3 3 4 4 4. Now what happened? See, what happened is your n, basically your row number and your column number is equal to the value of n. See, this outer loop is basically running for rows, okay, from 1 to n rows. So how many, the value of n I entered 4, so there will be 4 rows here. First row, second row, third row, fourth row, and so the same work I have done for columns. Now this is exactly pattern printed for n equal to 4, correct? Your homework question is this. Just comment the answer below, or basic rough idea. How will you print this pattern for n equal to 4? 1 1 1 2 2 2 3 3 3 4 4 4. I'm telling you, don't get confused here. I'm trying to run this pattern again for you. Like, what's the difference between this? See, if if I input the value of n as 4, this is the pattern I printed. Okay, but I am giving you a question for this. Print this pattern for n equal to 4. Your rows should be 4, but your column should be 3. What should be the condition? The question is, what should be the condition? And it's basically for n equal to 4. I am telling you have to, after printing for n equal to 4, just give me a hint. How will you print this pattern logic for any value of n? Just give me a just comment down this answer, like a basic rough idea. How will you print this pattern for n equal to 4? And once you have done this, give me a rough idea about how can you do the same for any value of n. For example, if I want to print the pattern for n equal to 3, how can I print the pattern for n equal to 3 or n equal to 6? How can I print this same pattern? See, for n equal to 6, what should be my pattern? 1 1 1, 2 2 2, 3 3 3, 4 4 4, 5 5 5, 6 6 6. So how can I print that pattern for any value of n? This question is for yours. I have basically done this pattern 01 question. You have got the rough idea. How I works, I basically goes like this. How J works, J basically goes like this. J increments like this, I increment like this. I increment downwards, J increments horizontally type. Understood? And this was the pattern 02 questions for you. Alright, so this is exactly whole about the video, and I hope you guys like this video. If you guys do, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to Java Revisited channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye, take care.